rated. A recent study revealed that 9 out of 10 mass violent attackers were male, and more than 2/3 of them were under the age of 35. Once again, the most dangerous person in the world is a broke and alone young male.
Now, one thing I always say on my page is this, for my young fellas: stop focusing on these young girls, these women. Get your bread right. Yo, you 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 30. Go work 2 jobs. Focus on yourself.
I got my swag right, feeling crispy clean. Girl, I'm the flyest mother you've ever seen. So much money, I can't fit it in my jeans.
Today's video, it's a very sensitive video for me because I understand the effects of everything this man is about to say. I hope and pray he hears this video and he takes his flowers. Fair use. I'm your host, Michael May. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, during a very, very, very tough time in New York City. All God has blessed me with is boys. And my sons, everything he says, I deal with this with my sons. I don't teeter on eggshells. I do what I want to do as a parent. But as you see, I'm sitting back because I'm not in a rush. This video right here, a lot of my fellas are going to be able to relate to. Ladies, sit back. Because a lot of what he says, though he's speaking, he has a short time to speak, but I'm going to go into further detail about certain things too, on the men's perspective and the women's perspective. But this video is powerful. I really want y'all guys to soak in as much of this as possible, because this man right here hit a lot of things on the nail. And maybe this will help some of you understand who I am as viewers. I am unapologetically masculine. I will never run from it. Those who follow me on Instagram, at Michael May Forever. Y'all already know, y'all see me. I post daily there too. This is my new page where I'm reviewing and reacting to a lot of things. But this right here, let's get into this. I don't want to waste no more time. Let's get into this.
What is it to be a man's man today? I mean, I grew up wanting to be a man's man. That's what you wanted to be. But today it's toxic masculinity, right? You're hearing it everywhere. People are being canceled for being a man's man. But the reality of it is, 1944, a man's man was storming the beaches of Normandy, and they knew most of them were going to lose their lives. But they're like, nope, I'm doing this because this is what men are supposed to do. Today, people are storming the beaches of their couch to play Call of Duty. 40, 50 years ago, without social media, we had to go learn how to pick up girls and flirt and have lines and be rejected. Today, you just got to swipe right.
Now, I want to start by saying this. I will say, with that statement, yes, I get the whole video games thing. a lot of guys that I know, a lot of gangsters that I know, a lot of people, they use their I play games. I have a gaming channel, True Hall of Fame Builds. Please go subscribe to that channel. It's a release. You understand? And then, especially when the pandemic hit and people had to stay home, for those people who are so used to always having to go out, I know people who lost their minds. Me, I was coasting, even though I had to work 2 jobs through the pandemic. That's neither here nor there. But he also says something. He said, to be a man's man, right? Guys going to war, guys having to go out and speak to women. Oh man, this video, I gotta sit up a little bit. Hold on, because I need to give y'all my attention. Hear me out. I'm always telling you guys, right? Let me put the camera up just a smidge just so you guys can. So hear me out. I'm always telling you guys, right? It's important for you to get out, get outside and sharpen your skills, right? Learning how to talk to people, talk to women. A lot of you guys will never, a lot of you young guys will never understand what, like he said, what it is to come up with lines. Hey, how do you start a conversation? What questions do you ask? You understand? Oh man, this video is loaded. Fellas, get off your phone and go outside. Get rejected by women. I promise you it's going to make you stronger.
Years ago, you had to learn how to hunt to get your food. Today, you just call Uber Eats.
Now, you heard what he said. Back then, you had to learn how to hunt to get your food. Now you just call Uber Eats. Now, he really meant that in the sense of how men, we're hunters and gatherers. Even with life, with our goals, with our achievements, with women. Fellas, you have to go out. Listen, there's nothing like meeting a woman on the street. Hey, hi, I'm Michael. Nice to meet you. Like, smile. Take care of your teeth. Smile. Like, hey, hi, how you doing? See, some of you guys be like, hey, you look really pretty today. Now, listen. Put your shoulders back. Put your chest up. We're men. I always take as much space as you can. Take up as much space as you can. We're men, right? Let's keep going though.
Lots changed. Are men becoming pansies? Are they becoming soft? Are we becoming passive? Like, oh my gosh, betas? Is that what's happening? I got a bunch of data I want to talk to you about that has to do with what we bench pressed 30 years ago versus today. Squat, our grip strength, bunch of different things that are influencing men to become softer. And for some of you that are watching this that completely disagree with my message, I would love to have you watch this message and post your commentary below at the end of the video.
Right.
I need your help, and here's
Yeah, I
why.
already know
I'm
I
on a
don't
mission to recover $10
do
million
retakes, so-
within the next 12 months for American.
I do want to say this. A lot of what he's going to say is going to bother some of y'all. Fellas, a lot of y'all, what he's going to say is going to bother some of y'all. To my young fellas, listen. A lot of what he's going to say is going to bother some of y'all. But I want y'all to understand. I had one female cousin in my family. Her name was Tina. I had one. Everything else was all men. I always tell the story. You understand? I was surrounded by nothing but men. Big shout out to Mema. You know what I'm saying? That's Gotti's sister. 2, congratulations. Like, I was surrounded by men. Men who did things with their hands. Smart men, intelligent men. My step-pops was involved in jewelry. My Uncle Mario freaking did carve tombstones. Come on. Like, yo, I've been around masculine men who are men. And I understand some of y'all may not have had the same privilege, but I really truly need y'all to really just listen and have an open heart and an open mind to hear what this man is saying. And maybe you guys as viewers can understand who I am, because this is why this page was created, for things just like for what he's gonna say right here. This is why I came over to this side of YouTube. Aside from already being on gaming over there, I already surpassed 1,000 subscribers. I think everyone who supports me over there supports me over here. But let's keep going.
Stick around till the very end. I got a quiz for you to take to know exactly what you're driven by. But it's important for us to look at some of the data to know if this is just gibberish or how are men really viewed and what kind of a life men live today. Before we get into it, I just want to give you some stats on, is there any relevance in men really struggling today? Like they can't find themselves. Are they really becoming softer or not? Scott Galloway wrote an article. The title was "The Most Dangerous Person in the World is a Young Man Who's Broke and Alone." Let me read some of the statistics that he has in this article. Men are more likely to use almost all types of illicit drugs at a higher rate than women, thus their higher prevalence of emergency room visits and inpatient substance abuse treatment. 93% of prison inmates are male, as are 98% of all death row inmates. Men are dramatically more likely to be homeless and for longer periods of time. Men now account for 41% of college enrollments, down from 60% in 1970. Men are twice as likely to overdose, 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide, and more than 9 times more likely to be incarcerated.
Hold on. Are y'all listening to everything that's being said? But then we live in a world where they say women have it harder. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ready? The deletion rate. We already know what that's about. But let's just be clear. A lot of what they said about us men, women are protected from. They're protected from this. Most of this wouldn't affect the woman because they are protected. We live in a place where we protect the women from having to go down this road. But there's no protection for men. This is why I'm an advocate, and this is why I always tell you guys, us as men, we need to learn how to stick together. We need to learn. I ain't no shame of my game. Ain't no shame of my game. When I was younger, anything I was struggling, you know what I mean? My friends I had to call and be like, yo, I need help. I'm starving. I didn't eat today. You know what I'm saying? There were times, you know what I'm saying, not to get all emotional about it, I would have to hit up my man Rich. Yo, I got my son. I don't have I didn't have no way to feed him. Yo, we good. We got you, dogs. Like, see, the thing is this. Most of y'all guys don't come from being surrounded by men like that. But let's keep going.
A recent study revealed that 9 out of 10 mass violent attackers were male, and more than 2/3 of them were under the age of 35. Once again, the most dangerous person in the world is a broke and alone young male.
Now, one thing I always say on my page is this, for my young fellas: stop focusing on these young girls, these women. Get your bread right. Yo, you 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 30. Go work 2 jobs. Focus on yourself. I'm a grown man, and I mean, that's a blow. It's too late now. I already passed them. I was working two full-time security gigs back in New York City. 2 full-time. And yo, 2 full-time. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my boss. Big shout out to Mr. Diaz and big shout out to Michelle. They both knew I had 2 full-time jobs. Yo, listen, when you hear you work, you do a great job, do your job, and we good. We ain't gotta know nothing. That's why I rock. That's why whenever I have a work opportunity, I go so hard in the paint. Yeah, you young guys so focused on these little girls and wanting to get this. Focus on getting your bread right, get your mind right, get your body right. because no one in this world is going to come to save you as a young man. And I always tell my sons this.
Scott Galloway recommends 3 things. Start making money. We are living in a capitalist society. Get super strong. You want to be fit. You want to lift heavy weights and run long distances in your mind and in the gym. And last but not least, get out there. Commit to meeting people. And quite frankly, try having sex. So
Now, hold on. He said the word. I didn't say it, so he said that. But it's neither here nor there. So hear me out. Do you hear what he's saying? Get stronger. Get out there. Some of you guys are... What? Hear me out. Hear me out. I feel like... Hold on. Let me see if he's up. Let me see if he's up. Hold on. Let me see something. I'm going to do this live on camera. Let me see if he'll respond before this damn thing dies. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die on me. Not now. Don't die. Don't die. Hold up. Let me see if he'll answer. I do this for y'all. Nothing I say is a lie. Nothing I say is a lie. I'm calling him. I ain't gonna let you see who he is. But I'm calling. I want you to hear his conversation. I will warn him that he's on camera, but I'm still waiting for him to answer. Let's see if he'll answer. It is a little late, so. All right. Let me try it this way. I really want y'all to, I really, really, truly want you guys. Let's see. Let's see. My phone might die at 1%.
Please leave your message for...
Damn. I was hoping he was going to answer. So, one time in the job, one of my workplaces, super overwhelmingly beautiful woman walks in. I'm not on the clock. I'm in regular clothes, right? So she walks in. I look and I'm like, and then my boy King goes, "No, you're not." I said, "Hold my bags for me." So I walked right up to her. We were talking, kicking it for a little bit. Then cool. She had somebody, you know. I explained to her my situation. She's like, "Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, I understand. I'm a guy, man, a guy, polygyny." So we had a little brief conversation. Boom, boom. He was like, "How in the world do you do that? Cause I'm a grown ass man. I ain't afraid of no damn woman. They're there for me to approach them. So I'm supposed to be embarrassed?" She didn't say, "Oh no, you're a scrubbing." She just said, "Look, bad timing, no problem. Hey, also this and that. Oh, I see. Yeah, you know my lady." Boom. Conversation lasted like 4 or 5 minutes. Went about business. Bang. It is what it is. But my boy was right there to see it. And he was like, "Yo, fam, well, how do you do that?" And it's funny because the lady even said it. The lady said, "You ain't from here." I'm like, "Nah." She goes, "Where you from?" I go, "I'm from New York." She goes, "Yeah, because most men don't have the heart to approach a woman that looks like me." One, she knew she was beautiful. One, she knew she was hot. She knew she was hot. And she's sitting here like, she goes, "Yo, I like your confidence. Your confidence, look, you wear it well." I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that." Boom. Man, it is what it is. That was over. But I'm not afraid. I don't have that fear in my heart. to approach women. Why? I've been turned down before. Of course I've been turned down before. Every man been turned down. But it gave me something. I've learned something every time I failed. But let's keep going.
Interesting 3 points he makes, right? Start making money today, get super strong, and finally get out and commit to meeting people. But are we not stronger today than we were before? Let's take a look at some data to see if men are stronger today than maybe 20 or 30 years ago. There's 3 things I want to look at. I want to look at our bench press to before, squat, as well as your grip strength. They say your grip strength is a strong predicator of mortality in later life. So are we stronger today or before? Here's what the numbers tell us. So they surveyed 1,800 lifters ages 20 to 39 to see what the average bench press was 30 years ago versus today. And here's what they came up with. What the average man could bench press 30 years ago versus today. 30 years ago was 240 pounds versus today 187 pounds. Squat was 277 versus today 225. So when you look at this data, how do you process it? Grip strength, bench, squat, like why are we looking at this data? Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to get women to become stronger and men to become weaker. Maybe.
Stop me when he says something wrong. But you see, hear me out. Fellas, I don't want to show the videos. I don't want to show the video. See, there's something about being a strong man. Hear me out. I want to be clear. I want to be very clear when I say this, right? We live in a time where women are being taught to not find masculine traits attractive. Excuse me. But you have to hold. I'm always telling you, fellas, hold the line. Hold the line. Why? Because I don't care what society says. You know how many times I get caught, oh my God, you arrogant, and you this and that, and you think you're so macho. I'm a masculine man. I'm a grown man. Yes. You don't like it? Go over there and get one of them little fluffy boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying what it is. It is what it is. You want a guy who'll sit here and cry and say, I was watching Bambi and, man, my eyes. I've seen Bambi a million times. My eyes ain't never got no water, you know that. Now Titanic, it's a little different. They put the music and everything, the violins and it was a little different. It was a little different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was this full-fledged like crying like water runs dry. No, I wasn't doing that. You know, Miles got a little choke boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, put in my throat when she said, "I'm gonna never let you go, Jack." I was like, fight it. But you know, it is what it is, right? But hear me out. Women are being taught not to like masculine traits. You have women out there telling you guys women are being taught not to like masculine traits. You know how many women find me to be weird? Fellas, look at me. I should make this bigger. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna exaggerate right now. Fellas, look at me. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be masculine from here to the day that God needs me and takes me up. I'm not going to change. Nothing is going to change that. I don't care what society. Oh my God, this and that, and you got the pronouns of this and that. I'm a grown man. You hear what I'm saying? Do you hear me? And some of y'all got sons, and I'm gonna need y'all to hold the fort down with your sons. Cause listen, let me tell you something. If my son right now was up and he didn't have school tomorrow, I would have called him and said, "What's the one thing that Daddy always tells you?" And my son will be able to tell you. I always tell him, "Hear me out. Don't forget this. Men and women live two very different, complete lives. Never forget that. For women, they will come to the rescue for women before they come to the rescue for you. We live in a place where they will let 50 men burn just to save one woman. Ain't nobody coming for you. I need you to be strong. I need you to hold the fort down. And my son will tell you this. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say, if he fell and hit his head, I'm gonna be like, get up, soldier! Get up! So no, I'm gonna be like, yo, Papa, you good? You alright? You bleeding a little bit. Listen, listen, you dead? Cool, come. Let's heal you up, clean you up. Okay? Alright, boom, boom. Ija, it's over. I ain't sitting here, oh, my baby, oh my goodness, get the fuck out of here with that. Let's keep going. Ooh, this video gets me upset.
Maybe I'm wrong. I will tell you, at our Vault conference, we had with a couple thousand people there, business owners, entrepreneurs. I challenge everybody to go do a certain questionnaire the first night, and the next they come and share their breakthrough with everybody. While I'm going through everyone, a lady sitting right here, like 7 rows right there, she gets up and she says, Patrick, I have to tell you my breakthrough last night. I said, what is it? She said, for the last 20 years, all I've been trying to do is compete against men to prove that I can make as much money as they make. I'm strong. I don't need them. I'm independent. I run a very successful salon. I do very well for myself. Everybody that works with me makes great money. I'm very, very, successful right now. To my friends, to my peers. I said, okay, and where are you going with this? What's wrong with that? She said, the breakthrough I have yesterday is men are not the enemy. I want a husband. I want to get married.
Time out. Why nobody's talking about this video? What is going? Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Whew. Boy, I need some water instead of Red Bull. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna rewind that back just a little bit. Hold on. Just a little bit. Hold on.
To my peers.
Hold on.
I run a very successful salon. I do very well for my compete against men to prove that I can make as much money as they make. I'm strong. I don't need them. I'm independent. I run a very successful salon. I do very well for myself. Everybody that works with me makes great money. I'm very, very, successful right now. To my friends, to my peers. I said, okay, and where are you going with this? What's wrong with that? She said, the breakthrough I have yesterday is men are not the enemy. I want a husband. I want to get married. I want to have a family. How interesting is that, right? The person she wanted to beat the entire time, now she wants to marry.
Hold on. Did I not just do a video the other day where I told y'all, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't on here. It was on my Instagram. I was telling everybody, I said, when a woman is trying to be top boss CEO, oh, I got 56 PhDs and 27 masters and 86 bachelors, and I got every associate degree under the sun. She is in her masculine frame. This is the reason why she attracts weak men. And now you have a woman saying, men are not the enemy. But guess what? Women have been bamboozled. They've been lied to. A career is what you... Go ahead, girl. Great. Go and get your education. Go and get that PhD. Go and get all the alphabets. Go and get all of those things. But what happens is this. By the time a woman is done with her education, got her business and everything going, she's already aged herself out of the dating market. We're not going to talk about her SMV. Her SMV is already out the window. So now she's like, I want to be married. You know how hard it's going to be? Do you know how hard it's going to be for her to change? Listen, this is the woman, whoever he was dealing with, This is the kind of woman that y'all guys always hear me talk about. Guess what? She might as well just be the biggest businesswoman in the world, because the likelihood for her to change her mind to be with the man, she'll go crazy. She would lose her mind, because now she had an epiphany. She had what we call in the manosphere that aha moment, like, oh man, that's what I needed to. Ladies, hear me out. If you want to be super career driven, just be okay with not having a man. If not, you're going to have a weaker man. You're going to be above him. I need you to understand that. And you may not want to accept it, but that's just the reality of what you're going to, what your reality is going to be. I need you to understand this. I'm not sure why nobody's not talking about this video right here. It doesn't make no sense to me. It makes no sense to me.
How many endless videos can we see with women in their 60s who bought into the feminist movement to make men and women equal are sitting there saying, I regret making that decision because I'm single, never been married, don't have any kids, and I'm alone.
Hold on. Y'all all do know that this whole trend of this Sex in the City lifestyle, y'all do know that the director of the TV show who actually got that ball officially rolling, she regrets it. She regrets encouraging women to get out there and focus on their career over a family. Why? Ladies, listen to me. It is in your natural nature. It's in your nature to desire people, to want to be surrounded by that love, that comfort. Ready? I'm gonna use a great example. He doesn't go into it, but I'm gonna use a great example. Ladies, listen to what I'm gonna say. Fellas, come along for the ride. It's none of your business, but just pay attention anyway. Ladies, there are studies that show when you're pregnant, right? You know, you're emotional, oh my God, you vomit, and then you're like, hey, oh my gosh, you go through all these emotions, right? But hear me out. When that child gets here, something happens to you as a woman, and you're like, I gotta protect this child. I gotta nurture this child. I gotta make sure everything, you gotta eat. Hear me out. Any sound my son makes, my woman hears it. It could be, is he? Even with my son DJ, which right now he's soon to be 13. Was he good? Is he good? He's all right? I'm like, what the hell are you like? What are you hearing? You didn't hear the baby? I'm like, no. I'll call my son baby. I don't care. He baby said there he go. He don't like it. None of his business. He gotta kiss my ass. You know it is what he baby. Right? So hear me out. So they tune in so much to the children, and what do the men do? Men tune heavy into work. Provide. I gotta go get it. I gotta figure out another way to go get it. Side hustles. How can I get more money? How can I? It's natural. Here's the danger, and here's what none of these TV shows tell you guys. And I always tell men, you gotta learn how to be a little lenient too, you know what I'm saying? Some women are a little different than others, but hear me out. When those children start rolling up around that 4 or 5 years of age, you turned more to work, she turned more to the children. That 4 or 5 year mark when they start going to school and everything like that, you guys gotta bring that back on each other. Cause I always say this, and I tell this to my lady, I tell this to my son. My son knows. At almost 13 years old, my son will tell you, I am my dad's responsibility. But I know his priority is his woman. Why? Because my son knows he's gonna grow up, he's gonna grow out, he's gonna have his own woman at some point in time. And guess what? Everything ain't gonna be mommy, daddy. It's gonna be, honey, what you need? What you need? You good? Bet. See, I want y'all to understand. And ladies, for y'all who are single mothers, I need you to listen to me very closely. I won't get all sensitive and something. Oh my God, you ain't showing this thing. I may save some of y'all lives right now. Hear what I'm saying? Some y'all boys, your son, listen to what I'm gonna say. He's your son. That's one. Compared to the rest. He's somebody's friend. He's gonna be somebody's co-worker. He may be somebody's boss. He's gonna be somebody's wife. He's gonna be somebody's father. Somebody's friend. He's gonna be so much more to the world than just your fucking son. Get that shit out of your head. Fellas, grow some balls and give it to your children. Give your son some masculinity or something. Fuck toxic, man. Get the fuck out of here. I kiss my ass for that toxic. Yo, hear me out. My lady, I'm the man. She don't throw out trash. She don't clean the bathrooms. The grocery, when the groceries come here, she don't touch no groceries. There are certain, anything that needs elbow washing the cars, I have set dates out of the week where I take the cars to get clean. I fill them up with gas. Oh, sometimes I went with the car, tire went out, boom, I took the car, where can it be? But guess what? The fair exchange. I can't even record the last time I washed a dish. Now I make breakfast because, you know, that's my favorite food. I gotta do it myself. You know what I'm saying. She cook it too, but you know what? I don't cook. Yo, hear me out. If right now I sent her a text, you know, mama, my stomach is a little, what you want? She'll straight go into the kitchen and cook a full grown ass meal in the. Oh God, not this one. Look what time it is. In the middle of the night. I need y'all to understand something, right? This is what women are missing out on. And they have tricked you. Feminism has tricked you out of your power. Women, you are so powerful. You're so, God gave you everything you need. You're inspiring, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you have intuition. You have so many things to be the helpmate that God designed you to be to a man. And you want to be a man. What kind of... Yo. I don't want y'all women to be alone. I'm pro-relationship. I want to see women winning. But right now, y'all not winning. And according to studies, when they said by 2030, what was it? Over 60% of women are going to be alone and childless. Let's keep going, though. I know I'm getting frustrated. I told y'all this.
And I wish I would have married men. I wish I would have had kids because I wouldn't have been alone today. Next point is a lack of male role models in a boy's life or a man's life. So if you look at some data here in 2019, some 15 million children in the United States were living with a single mother. That's about 5 times more than those living with a single father. As divorce rates rise and family courts continue to favor mothers, the amount of boys living without a dad will continue to grow. So why is this so important? Well, there are certain things I can tell my boys that my wife can't tell them, period.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Listen real closely. Now hear me out. Hold on. I want to stop him at one stat real fast. Hold on.
Living with a single father, as divorce rates rise and family courts continue to favor mothers, the amount of boys living without a dad will continue to grow.
Stop right here. Hear me out. Y'all already know who Nelson is. Nelson, at one point in time, was my stepson, right? There was a time when he almost got lost in gang culture. This is no lie right here. And not saying that it's the best situation to be in for me, but I've made my decisions in my life. And whether they worked out good for me or not doesn't mean that I want that for my children. You understand what I'm saying? There's enough street activity in my family that my sons never have to get involved. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now hear me out, right? So he was almost getting wrapped up in that culture. It was to the point that, big shout out to Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? He knows who he is. You know what I'm saying? We shut it down. We shut it down. I've always told you guys, I'm a very well protected individual. I'm a grown man. Until this day, I'm still very much protected by my loved ones and my families and my friends, right? But this is true. And I've always told you guys, even on Instagram, I always told you guys, women want to see a change. Stop using the courts like a weapon. Oh, you don't want to do this? I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to take you to court. Vete. Go to court then. Why? Because all they're doing is causing destruction and division. That's all they're doing. But until the courts change that, and I do see a little change. Now I'm starting to see a little bit more of a balance. But nonetheless, it still swings heavily in the woman's favor. But now hear me out. 15 million. 15 million. One five. Not thousands, 100,000, 300, no. Million in the US is living with single mothers. Now, ladies, you try as best as you can. I want you to understand something. I say this all the time. There comes a time in a boy's life, not the daughter. Daughters is different. Mommy can only, I can't show you how to do that. I could tell you little tips as a dad, what to look for and all that. But as far as sons, when it hits that 12, 13, 14 mark, they should have already been with their father. Because now there are things that man is going to have to instill in that child that you just can't. But I'm going to let him continue.
So why is this so important? Well, there are certain things I can tell my boys that my wife can't tell them, period. I can go tell my boys we're going outside and we're playing. They have to listen to it. I can go tell my boys you have to read 20 pages a day. They may tell Mom, I'm good. I don't need to read today. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. There's just certain things my dad could have told me that my mom couldn't tell me.
Right.
There's a very, very big value that men have in a boy's life. But the more divorces we get and the more fatherless homes that we have, men don't know what it is to be a man's man. Matter of fact, let's look at a complete different angle.
Hold on. I want y'all to understand something. What he's speaking about right there when he said, there are things that my dad could have told me that my mom just can't. For any of my readers, for any of my men of Yah, those who follow Yahshua, you know who I'm talking to, right? That is biblical. God gave man that authority. Let me tell you something. My son is funny, right? DJ, I love you. Shouldn't be on this channel at all, but I still love you watching. Hear me out. My son is getting older, right? Like I said, this channel here, I use real life things to help you guys understand that I'm speaking from experience. So hear me out. So my son turns around and goes, so one time we're finding out that my son he tried vaping, right? You know, with this little girl in the school, you know, women have influence, they have power, they understand this, right? But the conversation went like this. My lady always knew that my son is scared life of me. And he should. He should. I love him. And I'm going to make sure before he disrespects anybody, he will be disrespected. I'm on camera. Hear me out. There was one time, before I get to my story, there was one time when my son tried to talk to his mom recklessly, and my son's mother's husband came to her defense. And I had to let him understand he's absolutely right. Because though you his son too, though he takes care of you, but that's his woman. I'm not letting nobody disrespect my woman. Son or no son. You understand what I'm saying? So, my son understood that. But that one time, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. My son he tried it. And my lady, we here, and he calls me. And his mother's like, tell your father what you did. No. My lady starts to laugh. She goes, tell your father what you know. No, I'm not telling him. You tell him. You tell him. My lady said, I have never seen the fear like that in anyone in my entire existence. The fear you seen on his... No. And this is his mother. He's with his mother. And he's like, no. He'd rather deal with the wrath of his mother than even experience the wrath of his father. God did that. Same way, if my son needs that nurturing and the loving and the caring, he's going to go to my lady. He's going to go to his mom. That'll give him some nurturing. Like, hey, Papa, you good? You good? All right, cool. All right, look, but you gotta keep your head up. You understand what I'm saying? Then they'll be like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Because you're my little baby. Because you're my... You ain't getting that shit from me. You understand? But let's keep on rolling.
Most kids who go to school, most teachers are women. Most teachers are not men. So just recently I had my kids watch Captain, the documentary about Derek Jeter. And there's a scene in this documentary where Derek Jeter is drafted by the Yankees. His dream becomes a reality. He always wanted to be a shortstop for them because his dad was a shortstop. He goes, but he's not doing well. He's making errors. He's making mistakes. He's doing all this stuff, and he's having anxiety attacks. He's depressed almost, and he makes a phone call to his house. Mom's talking to Derek. And mom says, son, why don't you just come home? The father says, when I heard my wife saying this to Jeter, he says, I told her, don't tell him that. He can't know that's an option.
Hold on. Do you not hear? Do you not hear? This is how fathers are supposed to conduct themselves with their sons. Even my son, my lady will sit there, oh my God, come on, baby, come on, just relax. I'll be like, yo. He'll be like, I'm like, what's the problem? All right, bet. That God gave us that. We're not going to get into that argument. You understand what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
So now, let's replay this. Say the father's not in a picture. Say the mom's able to convince Derek Jeter to come home because no mother wants to see their son suffer. And she's witnessing her son Derek suffer. But the father says, that's what builds character. Let him go through it.
Yep.
If that doesn't happen, you don't have a 5-time World Series champion, few $100 million, one of the greatest Yankees of all time, 3,400 hits. If that simple call by the father wasn't made, you and I may not know who Derek Jeter is. So what's the point here?
So you ready? Sometimes, and I will always say this. Oh man, I can't discuss that story. I have to get permission first. We're gonna figure it out. I know a lot of mothers that stop their sons from being great because they're going through a little bit of pressure. Excuse me? What you said? Hear me out. My son loves to play. What's that freaking game? Fortnite. My son will play till like 4 a.m. when he's with me. Vacation time, that is. But I'll tell him, see, listen to me. I'll be like, baby, in the morning we're going to go shopping at 7 o'clock. All right. Long gone are the days where I have to tell him, don't give me no headache in the morning, because he already knows it. If you choose to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning, and when I get you, when I say, baby, we getting ready, my son is like the Undertaker. He'll be like this, he'll be like he gets up. I don't want to hear dad. Let's just keep dad like this. Dad is right here. He gets a little out of the comfort zone. Things go haywire. Let's keep him right here. They'll tell you. Like, my son will be here. My son will be here momentarily, and I may have a little special. I'll bring him up here so he could tell you guys, this is who I am as a father. Why? Because it worked for me. It works for me. Hear me out. Damn. Big shout out to my stepdad, right? So he'll laugh. I was 27, right? 27, 28, like around there. I was with a lady. You know, we separated, whatever, this and that. My dad is like my dad had to look on the face like, yo, grow some balls. Like, yo, put your chin up, yo. It's okay. Another one is coming down the pipe. And one thing he always said was this: pay attention to how God has treated you throughout your life. Every time you thought you wouldn't find better, the next one was better. The next one was better. The next one was better. It just keep going up and up and up. And I'm sitting here like, thanks, Pops. Guess what? I haven't spoken to him in like a year. If I call him, always give me the great advice. Clothes to everything. I was going to high school with suspenders on. Anybody that knows me knows. That's why they call me casual from. I would have Oh, phone is dead. Damn. I would have suspenders on in school. In high school. People used to think that I was a substitute teacher. I was in high school with suspenders on. This is not a game, people. I was a kid in high school, suspenders on, always looking dressed up to the T. Look. I'm going to show you a picture. This is when I was in the group with me and my brother. Right? I'm going to show you this so fast so you can see. Can y'all see that? Oh. This is me when I was in a group with my brother. I'm talking about, what? Chinese collar suits? Are you kidding me? This was on my stepdad. Yo, come here. You gotta learn how to shave yourself. We ain't got money to be going over there. I'm like, you don't see what this place look like? Always decked out, clothes always looking fly. But you know what? I had masculine men around me. You understand? Anytime I have fights in school, my brothers will show up like this. Fight. Go ahead. Ain't gonna be no body slamming, no. I'm gonna scrap. If somebody gets knocked down, you guys are gonna get up and do it all over again. And next one, masculine. Nothing but masculine men around me that show me how men are supposed to handle their business.
So maybe men today need stronger role models to challenge them and to show them It is okay to go through challenges. It is okay to have to fight through. This is a part of becoming a man's man.
Hear me out. I always share these stories too, right? Big shout out to BX Hove. Do you know what it is to walk into a place and see this is what you call love, right? Hear me out. And dudes is like, yo, what up, what up? Yo, Cash, what you doing here? Like, yo, Cash, what you doing here? Yo, go the fuck home, bro. I don't want you in here. I'm like, mind you, in my mind, I'm like, y'all niggas know, everybody is aware that I'm a grown ass man, right? Yeah, y'all fully, they didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit. When I was in, I always tell you, whenever I performed, even in the Bronx, there was a place, I think it was called Roombas. I think it was a place, you had to go down the stairs. Anytime I went there to perform, I would go in, perform. Yo, my brother G, get him the fuck out of it. Get his ass home. Now, he stood there, he was in there partying, tumba la casa. But I'm sitting here like, damn, nigga, can I take his ass home? Hear me out. I was the youngest person. It's okay. It's over now. Big shout out to Caesar. Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Corruption. Big shout out to from Master Flex. Big shout out to Alamo. Everybody. I was one of the youngest people in Sue's Rendezvous. Now I did a little kid section, no, the grown up section by the DJ booth, chilling. Owners is like, yo, he's with you. Y'all good. All right, he good. We don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was around men, masculine men. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I always say, Hocus 4/5. Big shout out to him and his family, his brothers. Always made sure I was good. Anywhere I went, your family, you good? I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool. Vic. Anytime I went out with Vic, yo, that's my little brother, man. He good. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was surrounded by masculine men, and I had such a pleasure. It's unfortunate that these younger guys, they don't have that. If I could surround some of these younger guys that I help out with the guys that I knew, these guys will come out winning. But let's keep going.
And it's natural. Next point is the walking on eggshells society that we're living in today. And what do I mean by walking on eggshells? People are afraid of offending today, okay? So when you're afraid of offending, you don't want to share your opinion, and the way people learn who you really are is by sharing your opinion and feelings about different issues. Now, in our family, I talk about 4 things with my...
Hold on. Eggshell society. Some of y'all who follow me on Instagram, y'all see, I don't give a shit about nobody. I don't care what nobody got to say about me. Oh, you this, and you, hear me out. Fellas, listen to me. When you are a masculine man, all right, you know what, hear me out. Y'all all heard my story about Warren Buffett. I had the opportunity to meet him with my boss one time a while back. Cool, whatever. But I had an opportunity to be in the room and listen to Dan Pena talk. I like him. If you don't know who Dan Pena is, you need to grow some balls and Google him and find out. But he in there sitting there, boom, boom. And the way he was talking, like, you know why some of you guys will never be shit? You're just a bunch of pussies. And I'm sitting here like, I needed that, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate that. See, because hear me out. Real men don't mind being pushed to the limit if it means that they're going to be better. It's like, ready, hear me out. In my gaming channel, I play 2K, I play Madden, I play whatever. You know what I'm saying? With fellas, boom, boom. I am on top of my fellas. I am on top of my fellas. Right? I'm not on top of them because I want to be an asshole. I'm on top of them because I'm fully aware of what they're capable of doing. I'm fully aware of where they can go. I'm fully aware of what they can achieve. And anything less, what kind of friend would I be? To just sit there and be okay with you being mediocre. Nah, we're not doing that. And I refuse to surround myself with people like that. You want to know why? Because I want to build an empire that as my son gets older and your son gets older and his son gets older, hey, our sons have a support system. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care about nobody's feelings. And I always tell everybody, when you talk to me, don't deal in feeling. First, cool, the feelings are going to be involved, no problem. But first, bring me the logic, the understanding, the proof, and then after that, let's figure out how can I understand where your feelings come into play, how you feel, whatever, and then work that out later. But that's later. But let's keep going.
Boys, we lead, we respect, we improve, we love. Respect, let's talk about that. If you constantly spend your life disrespecting people, you're eventually going to be alone and not successful in business because it doesn't work out if you want to disrespect everybody. People are not going to stick around in a work environment if you're disrespecting them. People are not going to be with you friendship-wise if you're constantly disrespecting them and judging them. And quite frankly, you're going to be by yourself. Now, offending is a different story. Today, they're trying very, very hard to cause men to be careful with their thoughts and what they say.
See, hear me out. I want y'all to understand. Nothing I say, nothing I do, I make sure I'm careful enough to make sure that I don't offend you. Oh, but I will tell you about yourself in a way that if you're not willing to change, I will disassociate myself with you. That's where I'm at as a man. But let's keep going.
And God forbid you say something that's going to offend somebody, you're walking on eggshells. I don't know many leaders that I call leaders who walk on eggshells that are not comfortable sharing their thoughts on different issues. They share their thoughts, but they get better at their soft skills to know how to deliver their messages better. That's something you're going to get better at for the rest of your life. But walking on eggshell society where you're sitting there by yourself, not really sharing your thoughts, it's as if you don't exist. You're non-existent. And that's just not what men do.
Now, this is a 100% fact. This men, we're gonna say what needs to be said. We're gonna say it. We're gonna figure out how to deal with it and move forward. If you can't do that as men, then you're not dealing with men. And big shout out to a lot of the guys that they personally got to know me. Some of the young guys that got to know me this year. Big shout out to them because a lot of these young guys they're listening to me and they understand that they may not have that father figure at home. Not that I'm trying to be a father figure, 'cause I don't want to be that, but I want to be the person that helped them, point them in the right direction to get the information that they need to understand where they need to be in life at this point in time, by this point in time, by this point in time. But let's keep going.
The next thing I want to talk to you about is competition. Society wants to convince you that competition is not healthy for you. By the way, the same people that are selling you that are those who lost, who didn't know how to handle it. The reality of it is, socialist boys have limited options. Capitalist men have unlimited options in every aspect of their life.
Ready? Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm always telling you guys this. I'm always telling you guys this on Instagram all the time. I'm like, fellas, if you don't want to be competitive, you're going to lose in life. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. You've already lost in life. Everything in life is a competition. There's always somebody who's going to work harder than you. Someone who's in the gym longer than you. Someone who's at work longer than you. Gets paid more than you. Wants it more than you do. Now hear me out. I always say this. The people who don't want to compete are the people who don't want to actually make any change in their life. I'm going to say that again. You not wanting to compete just means that you don't want to make the change. Ready? Hear me out. I'm going to say this. Fat shaming. You shouldn't have fat shame people. This is when they're big boned. There's no such fucking thing as big boned. Where the fuck did you hear? Big boned? Really? 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 Come on now. Come on. Let's cut the shit. Hear me out. Let's cut the shit right now. We're not doing that tonight. But hear me out. So you mean to tell me that because people don't want to do the work to get into the gym, they rather force you to change your mind? Excuse me. They rather force you to change your mind than to do the hard work and change themselves. They want the whole world to change around them. Anybody that subscribes to that mentality, y'all could all kiss my ass. Hi, I'm Michael May. If you subscribe to that, you kiss my ass too. I have no issue with competing in life. For anything. Okay, let's keep...
Where they live, where they travel to, where they eat, who they date, anything you want. They have an unlimited supply of options, and unfortunately, those who don't compete don't like the fact that you have more options. You know, when I was 14 years old, I was playing in this basketball association for troubled teenagers. I'm in a league with Mara Salvatrucha, with Black Diamonds, with, you know, the Sureños, 18, with the Blood Crip, all these guys. And one day, we're in this tournament, and only 5 of our players showed up, and we played against a team that had a full lineup, and we lost by 104 points. They give us this trophy that my dad has till today, a last place trophy. And he puts it right there and he says, you know why we have this trophy? To remind you how bad you lost. It's almost like, experience the pain, son. And I'm like, dude, throw that thing away. He says, no, you lost by 104 points. Look at the psyche of a father.
Yep.
A mother would say, why would you do that to him?
Right.
That hurts his feeling. My dad's like, that's exactly what he needs. The pain of a loss makes a man come back and improve.
Yep.
Makes him stay up late at night practicing while everybody else is sleeping. Makes this guy say, one day I'm going to prove to the world that I'm a winner. So, go.
Hear me out. Hear me out. So y'all already know I'm Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, right? So I'm in the music industry. I've been in the music industry. And you see how hard it is when you hear, big shout out to my fellas, when you hear black people say, it's so hard to make it in this world, and they would have some footing. Do I notice that there's some kind of like imbalance? Yes. But you ready? I'm going to use that same thing when it comes to music. How many Spanish R&B singers do you know? Name me 10. Listen to me. I ain't saying freestyle like, I ain't saying like, in your dreams, my love. No. R&B. See, first of all, I know these so-called players, but they tell you this. I'm gonna be real. I want to hear. I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I want to hear. Darling, I can't explain whether we lose our way. Cause I want to hear. You got your problems, baby. I've got mine. Let's just spend it all by putting it together. Yeah, I want to hear. Oh, I need to know where we stand. Show me just 10 R&B singers in the music industry. If you give me 10, put them down in the list below. You know how hard it is to make it as a singer, a Spanish singer, where R&B is flooded and dominated by black singers? Because they expect you to sing reggaeton. Oh, yeah, baby. They want you to sing all these other reggaeton. And no, I don't want to do that. I want to sing R&B. They rather let a white person. Ready? You got John B. What's that? Now think about it. I don't know what I'd do without it. I didn't want to live or even see another day. Suddenly from nowhere, baby, you up. Yeah, y'all know John B is. And then, ready? Robin Thicke. Lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel? So, I want you to understand something, right? But hear me out. This is a funny ass story, right? So, it was so hard to get into the market as a Spanish guy. But there are hundreds of artists out there with records that I wrote for them, records that I featured on them. But because I sound what they call black R&B, people would just say, don't say anything. Now, ready, hear me out. It's a shocker when, like I said, I dress casual, I'm dressing casual, but I like to be in my hoodie, you know what I'm saying? I like to have my chain out. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I like nice things, you know what I'm saying? But then it shocks everybody when I go on stage, they see this light-skinned guy, big beard, and they're like, oh my God, he's gonna rap. And then when I go up there and I'm like, come and talk to me, I really want to meet you, girl. Like, it blows them up. They're like, what the fuck? So I want you to understand something. I've been losing so long in that R&B realm that still to this day, to break through, it's still so difficult. Even though we know R&B is dead, that we're not getting into that conversation. We'll do that another time. But I want you to understand, it didn't make me crumble and cry. It made me stronger. Now, it just so happened that a song that I did that hit the radio, went to Germany, went everywhere. Now, one of my biggest records was a song in 2003. It's called San Juan, Puerto Rico. What are the odds? So I did a song, I love it in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican, so you would think that would make sense. But I only did this record for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, right? So hear me out. The song was a joke. I'm like, my flight landed at San Juan with the Don Juan, hit the hotel. Oh my God, shorty had the thongs on and they wanted me. The whole song, I love it in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, oh baby. Like, Puffy remixed it. It was crazy. Funkmaster Flex was throwing bombs and like, be like, Flex, let the song play, bro. Like, you mess up the whole vibe. Hear me out. I've never been to Puerto Rico. This is the funny. Hear me out. I've never been to Puerto Rico. This goes to show you guys. I said, you know what? Let's go a different route. And it was a joke. The song released, it wasn't even mixed. I love it in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Lots of girls all over my people. I never been to Puerto Rico. Now, let me rephrase that. As an adult. I went as a child, but it don't really count when you go as a child. As an adult, where I can understand it, go through the country, go to see the palm trees and enjoy. Everything I said in that song was a damn lie. And the funny thing is this, because I'm Puerto Rican, it hit. See what I'm saying? Oh man. Competition is necessary. Failure is necessary. It is what it is. It happens. Ready? I know even now to this day, I know Spanish singers that will be good in pop and everything, and they had to change their genre of music because it wouldn't be accepted in other things. But you gotta force your hand sometimes. Will I get there one day? Absolutely. I'm no fool, because R&B never dies. You see some of these old singers, you know what I'm saying? Ronald Isley and all these other guys, Kenny Rogers, Lionel Richie. Yeah, come on, man. But let's keep going. We're not here for that right now. Let's keep going.
Going back to you, there's nothing wrong with competing. There's nothing wrong with losing. As long as you keep showing up and competing, eventually you're going to get your shot. But you're better off being a capitalist than being a socialist, because being a socialist is just not attractive. Final thoughts here. Look, as you're going through the process from being a boy to a man, or from a man to a man's man, many times you're by yourself. Say you don't have a father figure. Say you don't have a strong male role model. You don't know who to talk to. You're trying to please everybody. Your mom's telling you, well, that's not the way to behave. And you don't have another man to bounce off the idea to think if it's a good idea or not. You're like, okay, I'm going to please my mom. I'm going to please my teacher, who's a woman. I'm going to please my girl, who's a female. I'm going to please my, girlfriend's mom. You're trying to please everybody, and you're becoming less and less and less of a man. And you're in the car by yourself saying, man, I'm losing my identity. I don't even know who I am. Then you lean towards making bad decisions. Look, take a time out away from everybody and sit down and say, what do I stand for? What are your values and principles? What do you stand for as a man? What do you want to do with your life? What kind of a leader you want to be in your life? You. Who do you want to be? Not what everybody's trying to force you to become. Who do you want to be? Then go solve for that. And when you do that, be prepared for some people to not like it. That includes a lot of women in your life.
Listen, this man is dropping, he's shining bright like a diamond. He's dropping diamonds. Fuck gems. He's dropping gold bars. He's dropping freaking 418 karat gold bar. He's dropping bars on you right now. Fellas, when you are masculine, understand there are going to be women in your life that are going to stop liking you. Your families. I have aunts that don't fuck with me because I am who I am. Because I ain't going to be no little soft little bitch sitting in the corner. I have cousins. I have people. But you know what? I bet you they can't say that I'm wrong. Or they say is, but the way you're going about it is just too harsh. And hear me out. Hear me out. I'd rather be a strong man trying to work his way into making adjustments into being more softer than the transition of being a really soft man trying to become masculine. Masculinity comes with experience. Hear me out. And Joe always told me this. Don't wait till you're a millionaire to start thinking like a millionaire. You gotta start operating like it right now. So when it comes, it's like it's nothing new. I'd rather be ready than have to get ready.
Makes sense. And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm finding more men like myself out there. Fantastic. They're out there. They're everywhere. You can find them.
Now on that, ready? I'm going to give you a topic that most women find uncomfortable. Hear me out. I'm a man of God. I practice biblical principle. Sometimes, nobody's perfect in their walk, but I try my best, right? So I am a man that practices polygyny, right? So you don't think that I got heat for that? But you ready? You don't think that there's some women who be like, oh no. But you know what I've learned? A lot of women have come out like, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Listen, hear me out. Men have come to me. Now, I already told you guys, most of you guys are doing it wrong anyway, so we're not going to get into that conversation. That will be for another video. But what I'm saying to you is this. I understand as a man that the way I choose to do things, everybody's not going to be okay with it. And I'm okay with that. Until you get to the point where you are okay with doing things the way you want to do them and you don't care what anybody else says, you're always going to be in this trap that he's been speaking about this whole video. But let's keep going.
Just like yourself. You are not the only one that's thinking what you're thinking right now. but you want to be a man's man. The world gives you more opportunities when you do so.
Yep.
We are living in a very, very competitive environment. So if you got value from this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I got two things I want to share with you. One,
Right? So I want to leave this right here. I will say this. Fellas, when you are masculine, you're not going to be liked by many. But the men that really rock with you, they're going to respect it. They're going to appreciate you for it. And they're going to value you for it. And y'all could both grow together. Y'all already know what time it is. I am Michael May. Thank you so much for joining the Hear Me Out podcast. Please subscribe to the channel. Like the video, turn on notifications. Until next time, we out.